about the oil prices. That is what Congressman Jeff Landry of Louisiana is focusing on. What could perhaps happen if the Suez Canal falls under other control? We're talking about almost 2 million gallons or 2 million barrels of oil every day go through the Suez Canal, and Congressman Landry is with us this morning from New Orleans. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How serious a situation is what we're seeing in Egypt for oil prices here, and what are you calling on the United States government, the President and Congress to do immediately?
Well, I think we're back to where we were in the 1970s. You know, the Department of Energy was created in order to shield the United States and its economy from exactly what we're seeing today, an unrest in the Middle East that can drive the price of energy through the roof. It is the kind of danger that will just take the steam clean out of any recovery we have in our economy right now.
Now, you're calling for the president to drill now. Obviously, given the April 20th explosion there on the Deepwater Horizon rig, there's all kinds of regulations in place for deep water drilling. You say this is something they need to start doing today and lift some of these regulations.
Well, that's correct. Again, you know, if we hope for any economic recovery to take place, we're going to need affordable energy. The amount of daily production in the Gulf of Mexico surpasses the amount of oil that passes through the Suez Canal. If we have a problem in the Middle East, if that canal is shut down, the price of oil and the price of gas that we pay at the pump for all Americans are going to pay is going to go through the roof.
But, Congressman, wouldn't the president say that we're in the middle of a crisis right now, at least Egypt is, that we're monitoring, and that's no time to set policy or to change policy?
Well, what the problem is that the policy that we've had in the past has failed us. That's exactly where we are today. If we would have planned better, if we would have a sound, affordable domestic energy policy, the issues going on in the Middle East would not be a concern to us today.
You know, some are criticizing, of course, as you can imagine, saying that this is a political opportunism right now and that any sort of drilling in the Gulf wouldn't reap any sort of benefits for months, even years to come. What do you say to that criticism?
Well, I'll just tell them that, you know, it does take a while for us to put our production on in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's why it's so important for us to get started now. Again, if we would have a sound energy policy here in this country, we wouldn't be in the danger we are today. We wouldn't, the spike in oil that's coming would not be as much of a concern to us because we would have domestic production that could make up for any capacity loss coming from overseas.
You've called for this at a time, too, when hearing reports this week, actually, that there's still massive amounts of oil still in the Gulf and remnants of those dispersants, which has largely gone unreported in the past few months as we've sort of maybe turned our attention away from it. What is the update on that?
Well, you know, again, you know, I continue to read the same things that you've read as to what is going on with oil that may be left over in the Gulf of Mexico. But again, my concern right now, today, is to make sure that every American, regardless of whether they live in Louisiana or up in Iowa, over in New York City, doesn't wake up in the next couple of weeks and find that the price of gas at the pump has doubled.
And, Congressman, are you satisfied that enough safety measures have taken hold or are in place now to avoid another catastrophe?
Absolutely. I believe that the industry was much safer the day after the accident than it was the day before. You know, we can pile on regulation after regulation. The important part is to make sure that we have sound regulations and that we have sound enforcement in those regulations.
All right, Congressman Jeff Landry, Republican from Louisiana, with the economic side of the story. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you all.